Welcome to the Full Later Life. My name is Martin and I'm here to encourage us all to live a full later lives. Now, if you remember from my last video, it wasn't until I was 48 years old that I realized that I had to take control of my health and well-being. Otherwise, I'd be living a very sedentary middle age and I'd be carrying that right the way through into my senior years. Seeing my picture from that Peru trip really made me think about having to make changes in my life, but I had no idea how to go about it. You know, I did try joining a gym way back in my 30s, but I got so bored with the repetitions and the weight training, and so I gave up going after about a month. I did keep subscription going for a couple of years with every intention of going back and getting into working out, but of course, that never really happened. However, I knew that I had to do something or I'd end up doing nothing at all. And as luck would have it, the answer appeared right in front of me one day. And so what happened was this: I was just walking home through town after doing some errands, and outside one of the craft ale bars was a bunch of people that were just all dressed in running gear and looked like having a great time. But I stopped and asked, I said to someone, hey, what's going on here? And they said, oh yeah, we're a running club. We meet once a week and we just go for a run, then come back for a few beers and some food, and it's kind of fun. And I said, okay, really great. How much does it cost to join? They said, no, it's free. You just come along. And I said, well, I haven't run in a long time. In fact, I haven't done any exercise in a long time. They said, don't worry about that. They said, we have people of all abilities. We have fast people, slow people, old people, young people, and even a group that goes walking in case they don't want to run or they can't run because they've got injuries or they're just not runners. And so I thought, well, that sounds interesting. Maybe I'll go check it out next week. And so the next week came around and I thought, well, why not? And so I dug up my most running-y looking sneakers that I could find, and I grabbed a t-shirt, and it's probably one of my beloved heavy metal t-shirts, and I just threw those on and I went along to join them. Now, I hadn't done any serious running since high school, but I was going to give it a try anyway because it looked like a fun social event and everyone was friendly and there was beer at the end too. So I thought, wow, can't be that bad, could it? To say that I struggled would be an understatement. I mean, it was going to be a 5K run. The leader made the announcements, then we all took off, and I thought I'd just find a bunch of people that would look like my kind of age, maybe my ability, and they're in the middle of the pack somewhere. I thought I'll keep up with them. What a bad idea that was. I mean, by the end of the first kilometer, I was so out of breath and my heart was beating so hard it felt like the xenomorph in my chest trying to burst out like the movie Aliens. So there I was, dropping further and further back, and I was determined to finish, but I also doubted that I'd be back next week. Now, I was warned about a hill, so when I got to a hill about 1.5 kilometers in, I thought, this must be it, and I gritted my teeth and did what I could to get up it. And it wasn't that bad considering, but it also wasn't the hill that they were talking about. That hill was about the 3K mark, and wow. I mean, it wasn't like a long hill by any means, but it was really steep. And I was already so pooped out from the run already, I could barely manage to walk up it, and I thought to myself as I was struggling, there's no way I'm coming back next week. But I was also at the point of no return, so I had no choice but to finish the run. Well, amazingly, I did finish, and I pretty much collapsed across the finishing line at the bar that we started from. It was only a 5K run, but it was the longest run that I'd done in many, many years. But the amazing thing was, there were people I'd never met before were like congratulating me and patting me on the back and saying, hey, congratulations on the great run. It was so encouraging. So after catching my breath, I got myself a beer and I started socializing with some of the other runners. And it was amazing. There were people of all different abilities. There were serious runners that had done many races, but there was also a bunch of people there that were like social runners that just did run a couple of times a week to keep fit. And they kind of identified themselves as drinkers with a running problem. And so I spent the next couple of hours just drinking and socializing with all the other runners. And you know what, that experience was so different to any gym that I'd ever been to. Usually when I've been to a gym before, it was a very solitary workout experience. You just do your workouts and then you go home. You don't really talk to other people unless you go with friends that you go with, because usually what happens is people do their own workouts in their own space and they're doing their own thing. And that's generally how a gym works. But so this was completely different from that. Now, I'm not knocking a gym, and if that works for you, then great. And I'll say to anyone who's looking to get active in their later life, find the thing that you enjoy doing, because that way you'll keep at it and you won't give up on it like a New Year's resolution. So if the gym gets you off the couch, then have at it. But for me, that just doesn't work. So after a couple of beers and chatting with some guys that have since become great friends, I was about to leave and one of them said, so we'll see you again next week? And I was like, yeah, sure. But I really wasn't sure. I mean, that run hurt. I mean, it really hurt. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to put myself through that again. But you know, as I drove home, I realized, you know what, I actually had fun. I mean, yeah, sure, the run was tough, but I didn't die. And the bar served great craft ales and the people were fun and encouraging. And to be honest, I didn't know what else I'll be doing to take care of my health. And if I gave up, then I'll probably give up on everything. So Why not? So I thought, you know what, I'll give it a couple of months to see how it goes. And I think a lot of us go through that thought process. You know, we try something out and we expect it to be easy, or at least easier it turns out to be, especially as we get older, because we just become accustomed to the way things are and the way we're living. And even something as simple as run, if we're not used to it, it could push us beyond our comfort zone. And at our age, we just kind of feel like, well, heck, we've paid our dues in life, so everything should be easy by now, right? And so the takeaway here is not to give up on something that you're trying to do to better yourself right away. You know, give it a little time to see if it jives with you. If there's one thing that you enjoyed about it, then maybe stick with it a bit longer. You know, maybe you're finding you don't like it, like me in the gym, but that's okay, then just go find something else. But don't give up too soon, because you might end up giving up something that you come to love later on. I really appreciate you all joining me in this journey of living an active later life. And I especially want to hear your stories about how you have started living your active later life and how you are overcoming the challenges of getting it all going. Because those stories will really help other people in also living their active later life. So please like and subscribe if you like this content, and I'll see you again in the next video.